Hello everyone, I am Wealth Accumulation Channel. We all know that to get rich you have to buy assets. And as long as it's anything where the income is greater than the expenditure, we can all call it an asset. But in this world, some things are not assets. But those few self-made rich, still desperate to buy it. Especially these 5 things they are willing to spend money on. And the poor will never spend money to buy. These 5 things are worth $1,000 in the eyes of the rich. But these 5 things are worthless in the eyes of the poor. After watching this video you can also be measured. What kind of person are you? Hello, I am Wealth Accumulation Channel. If you come to this channel for the first time, you are welcome to subscribe to us first. And turn on the little bell next to it. Every week will share information among rich people for free. Allows you to quickly absorb financial and business thinking in 10 minutes. Learn how rich people behave. No matter how busy you are, you can keep up with the rich. Make sure you don't fall behind. The first type of rich people will buy, but poor people will not buy things. Index fund. I know someone will ask, why invest in index funds instead of stocks? In fact, this is because of Warren Buffett. An investment that he himself highly recommends. At Buffett's shareholder meeting in 2021, he said, in the long term, most investors can be simple. Earn returns from an S&P 500 index fund, rather than picking individual stocks. And he said most of these investors, including his own company, Rockhill Hathaway. He said that many people have been asking him for advice. Ask him to give some investment advice. But Buffett never recommends. Instead, tell them directly. Invest in low-cost S&P 500 index funds. What is an index fund? Simply put, from many listed companies, selected 500 elite large-cap stocks. The constituents of the S&P 500 is not static. It keeps changing with the financial market. The S&P 500 will also exchange shares from time to time. So why do rich people like to buy index funds? Because historically, the average annual gain of this index fund, more than 12.8 immortals. Which means you don't have to do anything. Every year someone will help you invest and make money. Coupled with Buffett's famous $1 million 10-year gamble. More sure of the fact. In 2005, Buffett sets up a $1 million bet. 10 years. See if hedge funds can outperform index funds. After Buffett set up this gamble, no one has ever dared to fight. Until 2007. Only a top trader in a large organization, Tesidus, joins the bet. What about this Tesidus? I chose 5 hedge funds to form a portfolio. Run for 10 years to make the income exceed the S&P 500 in the same period. And this high-profile gamble. After 10 years, the answer is finally revealed. In the end, Buffett won. Received $1 million. Of course, the last $1 million. 4 billionaire stock gods didn't pay attention. Donate directly to charity. So this famous 10-year $1 million gamble. What told us? Teach us. Even if you now have the most professional assets, management team Regal, or a very large foundation, but investing in fund indices still works. And it can also bring you very considerable benefits. So if you want to also outperform those professional asset management team, it doesn't really take 10 years to go. Trial and error. Instead, buy low-cost index funds. Let these professional fund institutions help you invest. Second, experience. This is something the rich especially like to spend their money on. Because they know a truth. Everyone's time is limited. The experience that everyone can accumulate is different. In other words, while buying other people's experience, it's like buying someone else's experience. Something other people will. When we do things ourselves, the most fearful thing is to start from zero and grope alone. I asked for a long time. Not sure if I did it right. Or the direction is not correct. And then stay in the self cycle of doubt and inefficiency. In fact, it is very simple to solve this problem. Just spend money paying for someone else's experience. It can save us a lot of detours. That's why the rich especially like to spend money on lectures. Pay someone with experience to do things for you. Even spend money to buy a word. Can allow us to reach our goals faster. But in the eyes of the poor, this kind of behavior of rich people is very stupid. For example, the course is good. They don't understand why they pay to listen to other people's lectures. Why don't you put it that way? They don't know the course. What can bring them? So whenever you hear someone paying for a class, you'll think he's stupid. And the rich know in their hearts. Instead of spending time hitting a wall, rather learn from the experience of others. It's good to reduce your own time cost. Economic cost is also good. The psychological cost is also good. Take any of these apart. Can bring huge benefits. Buffett's partner Charlie Munger once said, "Best way to learn. Instead of learning from your own failures. Instead, learn from the failures of others. If you know exactly what will fail, then you can do your best to avoid him. Instead, if you find what works, then you can copy him. Learn quickly from the experiences of others. Replace it with your own knowledge or skills. And then apply it in reality. Is the fastest and most effective way to learn. This is Wealth Accumulation Channel. Third time. Many people say money can't buy time. This is wrong. Time can of course be bought. And the more money you get, the more time you can buy. Give an example. You ask the housekeeping aunt to wash and cook for you. Clean the house. That is equivalent to you bought this aunt's whole day. Or if you travel to another city on business, you can choose to take the bus. It's cheap. Only 50 yuan. Take you to your destination in 7 hours. Or you can choose to fly. Need 300 yuan. But it only takes an hour to fly to that place. And if you choose to fly, it's like you spend 250 yuan. Bought back 6 hours of your time. You can do a lot of things with these 6 hours. For example, you can prepare your PPT in advance. Or get familiar with the local environment first, etc. That way when you meet your client, it can greatly increase your turnover rate. Compared to the commission you earn when you acquire a client, it's not worth the airfare you're paying for. Spending money to buy time is the greatest characteristic of the rich. It would have taken 3 months. But if you can spend a little money and finish it earlier, the rich man will be willing to spend the money. The biggest difference between the rich and the poor is that they have completely opposite attitudes towards time. Poor people feel, take more time to complete one thing. It doesn't matter. It's not a big deal. Actually, that's because his time is worthless. And the reason his time is worthless, because he never valued his time. He never cared about his efficiency. So if you're not rich, then find a way. Make your time valuable. Increase your daily output. Drive your monthly output again. As the year goes by, you'll find your time. Your efficiency will be greatly improved. And this will bring you a positive cycle. You will have more money to buy time. Let time bring you more wealth. Is business. Renowned best-selling author and financial expert Robert Chinch once said in an interview, "The income channels of the poor are very single. But there are at least 3 income channels for the rich." Poor people take the initiative to earn. In addition to active income, the rich. There will also be capital gains and other passive income. And the business here is capital gains. If you can automate your business, that could even turn into a passive income source for you. You know, famous billionaires in the world today. None of them work for the company. They are business owners. And doing business can leverage. Use other people's time, monetary resources and capabilities as leverage for you to use. Bring you multiple returns. I found many people. Just mention the word business. You will naturally feel that this is a very high threshold. Things ordinary people can't do. But it's not like that. If we can combine our own situation, research rationally, you will find out. Hey, in fact, many businesses can be done. Or we put business in another word. To have a good understanding of the feasibility of doing business. That's a side job. In real life, almost every one of us, you can run your own business. If you think you are ordinary, inability to start a business, well, I guess you don't know the nature of business yet. Even you don't know yourself. Everything you know may be needed by part of the world. Let's say you're an environmental bachelor. You don't know how to invest, you don't know how to manage money. You feel mediocre. But know that everyone is unique. Replace the single label on you. Yes, you heard me right. As long as you can make good use of this mark on your body, you can also make money easily by signing. Let's not talk about how much money we earn, but always get a higher return than a fixed salary. For example, in this era, single person, or more and more people tend to marry later. Did you find out? Compared with our parents or in-laws before, the age of starting a family in the early 20s. People nowadays don't like early marriage. Even some, you tell him to get married at 30. It's too early for him. Therefore, this phenomenon of late marriage and late childbirth has given birth to the artist economy. Like eating alone and shopping alone, travel alone, etc. And these related industries also ushered in rapid development. A lot of business opportunities have been bred. For example, single travel packages launched by foreign countries. Let even one person. You can also travel freely. I met a client in 3 weeks. He is nearly 50 and single. And enjoy this kind of alone space very much. And also because living alone doesn't cost much. In addition, she is a strong woman with a lot of income. Therefore, the consumption power is very strong. More willing to spend money on themselves. As long as something meets his needs. Would be more willing to pay. What I want to say is that life is actually full of business opportunities. Even if you think you're worthless. But you still have certain labels. These labels may seem ordinary to you. I don't even think it's useless. But there is a certain group of people in this world. It just needs people like you to understand and solve his problems. Even if it's just a small problem you can solve. But others are still willing to pay for it. You don't have to be tall to do business. Many people make this mistake. I think doing business must be very advanced. Or must have a lot of funds to operate. That's called business. Actually not. Business is essentially an exchange value. And this value is used to solve those problems in our daily life. And now, how many people have passed those seemingly insignificant, low investment business, achieved a class leap, became rich? I just watched a video on the internet. There is an urban area in the United States that is relatively downstream. Gets waterlogged easily. As long as it rained the day before. Then the rain on the mountain the next day will flow into the middle of the downstream road. Cause every time people cross the street. Will get your shoes wet. One day a Middle Eastern guy had an idea. Just took a trolley. Then stay by the side of the road and wait for customers. As long as anyone wants to cross the road. But don't want to get your shoes wet. Then you can pay him $1. Stand on this cart. Let him push you across the road. Last day down. This Middle Eastern guy made his money. Worth more than many white-collar workers. First rule of doing business. And the most important rule is to always learn to discover needs. Because where there are people, there must be demand. And where there is a need, there is an opportunity to make money. Fifth, popularity. For the rich. Let's talk. Visibility is an invaluable resource. Why? Because any of their projects, or the success of the product, it depends on whether he is famous enough. For example, LMAS, no matter what he does. It's not what we the public look at first, but himself. This is popularity. Popularity means that you are a person in the society. Degree of familiarity. Fame can do a lot of things. He means opportunity. Means spread. And what does it mean? Trust your popularity the higher. There will be more potential customers out there. Know who you are. Will also know what kind of service you provide. When they need to buy. Then you will be the first to think of. Compared to your peers. You will also have more clients contacting you. Brand this thing. Another word for popularity. We hear it from many people. How is this brand? How about that brand? It's really about how famous they are. What is the brand? What other people know about you? And with popularity is to have a brand. So we can see. Those movie stars often need to come out for press conferences. Writers often hold book signings. Entrepreneurs give TV interviews and more. These actions are all aimed at raising awareness. For myself. Or their own products to bring about a greater amount of damage. You will become famous when you have the amount of destruction. And with popularity, others will trust you more. So it can also be said. Can you make money? Depends on how much trust you can give others. And spend money to buy popularity. Is the fastest way to increase trust. A lot of rich people. Especially the group of people at the top of the pyramid. I know I want more. Wealth is to use some means. Further enhance their popularity. When your reputation is out. Your money will come naturally. So if you're not well known enough. Then spend the money. Spend on those that bring you. On higher profile matters. Let this popularity bring you more money. But the poor will never understand this. I don't even understand why rich people want to buy popularity. So if you understand the main point of this issue, then remember to give me a like. Because your outlook on life has changed. And when you know how to empathize, You will gradually understand what is the way to make money. So if you like to start a business and make money, and the content of financial thinking, you are welcome to subscribe to us and turn on the little bell next to it. Because we created this channel is to share high-value content. Help you open up the pattern. Breaking the poverty mindset. Alright, that's all for today's video. Thanks for watching. I am Wealth Accumulation Channel. See you next time.